The day I found out about Tom and Beth, something inside me shattered. The betrayal wasn't just from him, my husband of 7 years, but from her too, my best friend since high school. I'd given both of them pieces of my soul, trusted them with my deepest fears and secrets, and in return, they ripped my heart apart like it meant nothing. It started innocently enough, a text that wasn't meant for me. Beth had been over the night before for drinks and movies, like old times. We laughed and reminisced about college days, talking about life, love, and the men who had wronged us before we found the ones. Funny how things change. The next morning, owing while Tom was in the shower, his phone buzzed on the nightstand. I picked it up, thinking it was an alarm or something work-related, but then I saw it. Her name. My heart sank before I even read the message. "Last night was amazing. I can't wait to feel you again." At first, I didn't believe it. How could they? How could he? How could she? I told myself it was a misunderstanding. There had to be a logical explanation. But deep down, I knew. The truth clawed its way out of the denial, each moment sinking deeper into the pit of my stomach. The next week was a blur of numbness. I confronted him, of course. He lied, denied everything. Then came the guilt, the apologies, the crocodile tears. He said he was confused. It was a mistake. He promised it was over, swore it meant nothing. But the damage was done. Trust once broken doesn't just heal, it festers. Beth, she avoided me, ghosted me like we hadn't shared years of friendship. No explanations, no apologies. She didn't even have the decency to face me. Her betrayal cut deeper than his, but in a way, they both felt equally soul-crushing. I lost my friend and my husband in one single act of betrayal. I spent weeks planning my next move, pretending to forgive, pretending to forget, as if their affair was a minor inconvenience I could sweep under the rug. I was cold, calculated. I didn't cry anymore. I didn't yell or throw things. I became someone else, someone I barely recognized. The anger morphed into something more sinister. If he could cheat, why couldn't I? Why should I be the one who suffers while he walks away unscathed? If this marriage was going to burn, I was going to throw gasoline on the fire. His best friend, Jake, had always been a little too close, a little too flirty. I knew he'd noticed my sudden aloofness, my cold distance, and I could tell he was curious. He'd been by our side through everything, always around for dinners, game nights. The thought of him knowing about Tom and Beth was nauseating, but also perfect. He was my weapon. The first time we kissed, it wasn't some wild, passionate affair. It was calculated. Tom had gone away on a work trip, and Jake came over to help me with the leaky faucet Tom had neglected for weeks. It felt wrong, but it felt powerful, like I was taking back control. One kiss led to another, and before I knew it, I was tangled in sheets, lost in the chaos of revenge. I wasn't in love with Jake. In fact, part of me hated him. He was a reflection of my brokenness, my desperation. But I used him because I could. It wasn't just about hurting Tom the way he had hurt me. It was about reclaiming myself, about proving that I could still make someone feel the way Beth had made him feel. When Tom came back, I played my part perfectly. I was the forgiving wife, the one who was willing to rebuild. But every time he kissed me, touched me, I saw her. I felt Jake. It was a toxic dance of secrets, and I couldn't stop myself. Part of me hoped Tom would find out. I wanted him to feel the sting of betrayal, to understand that no amount of apologies could fix what he had broken. Eventually, he did find out. I left just enough clues, enough breadcrumbs to lead him to the truth. The look on his face when he confronted me was almost worth all the pain he'd caused. The anger, the disbelief. He couldn't understand how I could do such a thing, how I could stoop to his level. I laughed. It wasn't a joyful laugh, more of a broken, hollow sound. "Now you know," I said. "Now you know what it feels like." I left him that night. I didn't need him to understand. I didn't need him to forgive me. I didn't even need closure. I just needed to walk away with the satisfaction that, for once, I wasn't the one left picking up the pieces. Beth tried to reach out eventually, after she and Tom were both discarded remnants of my old life. She sent messages full of guilt, apologies, excuses. I deleted them all. Some betrayals don't deserve forgiveness. I'm not proud of what I did, but I'm not sorry either. Revenge doesn't heal the wounds, but it dulls the pain for a while. And sometimes, that's all you need to start again. Subscribe for more.